quote of the day for you guys. Men can starve from a lack of self-realization as much as they can starve from a lack of bread. Welcome to Cody's Corner.
Hello, everybody.
Whoa, wait. Hello, everybody, and welcome officially to Cody's Corner. Cody's week-by-week hot takes on who's going to take the W in your favorite sport. I'm sat beside, you already know, try to steal my thunder, starting off early, the one and only Petey.
What's up?
I got the man in the chair behind us, the one and only. Give us the information we need. We got Wicked David.
What's going on?
Damn, I didn't get an intro like that.
You got, what do you mean? You're my right-hand guy.
Next time, can you call me the Parlay King?
Listen, look, I'm going to call you Jean Jacket if you keep acting up. But we can talk about that a little bit later. I don't know, man. You got someone to impress when you show up here with all these different outfits. You guys thought you were cute today with the matching fours on. I don't know, man. I don't know. I did not get an invite to the drip out club. I don't know what you guys want. But
Breaking news, live on Cody's Corner.
okay.
Adam Silver finalizing a contract extension that's expected to take him through the end of the decade.
Nice, man. He's a good commissioner. He's a good commish.
I would say probably best commission sports
Best commish?
Right now,
in
active?
sports.
I think so.
I'd
I think
say
he's definitely
so.
the most liked, for sure.
Definitely not Goodell. At all.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, David Stern was not to be played with in the NBA back in the day.
Yeah.
So
He was the guy.
yeah, he was more like what's that word? Disciplinarian type. Like he was like
Like he wasn't dealing with any bull. Oh, sorry. We'll bleep that out. Starting off fresh, I guess, right? Everybody got silent like there was a teacher in the room. Oh my God. Please. It was like, no!
Cody, we're 2 minutes in.
It's a family show! Listen, man. Before we get too deep into it, I didn't hit you guys with a Kobe quote today just because it's Saturday now, but a couple days ago just passed. The 4 years have passed since the passing of Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gigi. We did give our flowers to some coaches as we thought they were going to leave the league. So if anyone deserves their flowers, from now going forward, it's definitely the guy, man.
Kobe Bean Bryant.
Yep. 5-time NBA champion with the Lakers, 18-time NBA All-Star selection, 2008 NBA League MVP, 2-time NBA Finals MVP, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, 11-time All-NBA first team. Still thoughts and prayers going out to them and their families and anybody else that was affected by that horrible incident 4 years ago. Look, man, we're here. As someone else who was a big football fan, because Kobe was a big football fan, he was always walking around flexing the Eagles jersey.
Yep.
I know that
True.
for a fact.
very true.
Let's get into this recap of last week, because we're mixing things up. We let people know on the Instagram or whatever. Follow us on Instagram at Cody's Corner _. We're switching it up to only Saturdays from here on forward. Just figured now would be the time to really hone in and give you that one jam-packed episode full of whatever you guys are looking for, full of that news mixed with a little bit of those rants that people seem to like so much. For some people, I don't know. People like to hear us talk about nothing for like 90 minutes, I guess. So we're here to give it to them, and Petey came well dressed for the topic.
For the 1 week debut.
We don't, you got so used to seeing us twice a week. You were like, yeah, whatever, I'll pull up in the whatever. And then we made it once a week, and he was like, okay, hold on a second.
Coming out stunting.
I'm gonna start coming into your basement like NBA players pregame.
Whoa.
Oh, hey, get a little. Okay.
You're stupid. You're so stupid for that, bro.
I'm gonna come in dressed up like I'm playing for a championship.
Coming, holding different shoes like PJ Tucker.
Oh, like 2 pairs in each finger.
Right.
Listen, man, talking about dressed to impress, look out for our Super Bowl episode that's going to be coming out in 2 weeks.
Ooh, shh. Don't tell him too much.
You know what? Oh, my God.
Don't tell him the Super Bowl's in 2 weeks, Cody.
they'll only know like the day of, even though it's already on the Instagram in 2 weeks Super Bowl. Like, wait, the Super Bowl's tomorrow? That'd be crazy, imagine. But hey, man, hopefully someone out there somewhere is tuned in because they want us to tell them what's going on out there instead of the you-know-who's.
The you-know-who's.
The ESPNs of the world.
Oh.
Oh.
Who else did you think?
No, I don't know. I wasn't thinking of anybody specific, to be honest.
Well, I'm thinking about some specific people. I want to get a little bit into these games from last week.
Talking about Carl's Corner.
I'm sorry?
Hate those guys.
Who's Carl's
Don't tune
Corner?
into them.
That's, you know what's funny? I picture him.
Who's Carl?
I don't know where that came from. I don't know where your brain's at. But I'm picturing
Those are
when
the
you said
you-know-who's.
Carl's Corner. I'm thinking like
Yo, back here,
if there was multiple corners, right? Because obviously every room has 4 corners. It's Cody's corner over here, and then directly diagonal from me is someone named Carl. He's trying to steal my thunder.
like your parallel that looks like you, but not exactly like
He
you.
looks like me, but he just has a goatee.
Your biggest opposition,
Yo.
Carl.
That means that if for any reason we ever have to speak on someone named Carl, it's just bad blood from here on forward.
That is true.
It's just like the whole Mason Arthur category.
I don't know Carl.
I know Carlos is.
That's different. That's way different than Carl.
Nobody knows a Carl.
Nah, wait.
You've never met a Carl in your
I'm
life.
trying to think. Nah, I haven't.
A
met
Carl? You've never met
The
a Carl.
first Carl that comes to my mind just off rip is Carl Winslow.
Exactly. That's the only Carl we've all ever known.
Or Jimmy Neutron Carl.
Carl.
Ah, I did forget.
Jimmy's mom. That was a fire show. I used to love Jimmy Neutron.
I wasn't
bro.
too big of a fan of Jimmy
What?
Neutron. I thought it was kind of dumb.
Oh, you're out of your mind, bro. He used to have a good idea, and you used to see his brain just cuz. He'd be like, "Ah!" And he would go into his brain, and you would see, like, there's a roller coaster in there for some reason.
I remember.
Carl is such a dripless name.
Yeah, there's not a
Oh,
lot
you
of
just-
Carls.
I'm
He's
looking
on
at all the
Google scrolling
I'm looking
through
at all the
Carls.
Carls of the world, and wow, it is lacking.
Well, Carl Banks wasn't. Isn't he played for the Giants? No.
Oh,
Is there a Carl Banks that
I
played
thought
for the Giants?
when you said Carl Banks, I thought of Carlton Banks.
that doesn't.
I thought that's where you were going with that one when you said that one.
Well, Carl Banks is not on my list of Carls, so I'll tell you that.
Well, I guess he wasn't famous.
So he's
enough.
not in the top 48 of Carls to
Yeah,
ever
man.
exist.
You being a Giant fan, Carl Banks played for the Giants, bro.
What position was he?
I think a defensive tackle,
curious.
defensive end.
Linebacker.
Spouse Cheryl Banks. I'm giving like his own information. You don't need all that,
This
but
was
yeah.
before my time, David.
He was a Giant in 1984.
This was David.
You said
But
that, yeah. David was like, "Yo, I met the guy. We went to 3rd grade together."
No, but no, that's funny that you say that. But I actually did meet him. He actually used to go.
Here we go.
I
Bro.
did-
He was there at the combine.
Stop.
He's taking his scout numbers.
Combine is crazy.
39 and a half sacks in his career. He's only 61. So
Cody,
he's around your age, I guess.
you want to know who comes up as the number 1 Carl?
Who?
Ooh.
A guy named Carl Judy. Don't know if you know who that is, but he's associated with Darman.
Who's that?
You know Darman?
Darman?
Yeah.
I don't know who Darman
Oh, you know
is.
Darman. He's the one that makes those like funny YouTube videos.
That's such
It's
a
like-
general statement,
Yeah,
bro.
there's a lot of people.
Cody
make fun
Cohen and Noel, they made fun of him a lot of times.
Oh,
Darman!
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Oh, okay. He's kind of like a motivational speaker who tries to make like per scenario videos.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, it's like don't always say yes when the situation you need to say no. So today we're gonna show you a scene where you have to say no, even though they want you to say yes.
Okay.
But what does that have to do with Carl? That has nothing
He's-
to do with a Carl.
said-
Carl
that's-
Judy.
He said that's the
That's
most
his real
famous
name.
Carl.
No, he's worked with Darman.
So he's just a Darman associate.
Yeah, but he's the number 1 most famous Carl on this list. So
Well, you know what? If I'm being real with you, there's way more famous people for us to discuss at the moment.
let's do it. We spent
If
too
I
much
wanna
time
get
on
it-
Carl's
there's
corner.
way too much Carl for there not to be any Carl. We spent all that Carl time for us to come to the conclusion that there is no Carls. So To get into someone who has a little, maybe the C in CJ Stroud stands for Carl. How much you want to bet?
I'll bet everything it's not. CJ Stroud.
What does the C stand for?
Not Carl's Jr.
Carl Judy.
All right.
Plug.
I'll give you 2 more guesses of what the C
The
stands
C, Christian.
for. No,
I was gonna
you're not gonna get it.
Cornelius.
No, I don't know how to properly pronounce it. It's either Coleridge or Coleridge. I'm assuming
I'm gonna say
Coleridge.
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 Well, it
And
wasn't Carl.
And what's the J?
Probably Junior.
All right.
So there's 2 Coleridges.
His dad's probably Coleridge.
So he's Coleridge. Coleridge.
Coleridge. No, just Junior. You're either a junior or a second.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Never both.
It's not one or the other.
No.
So if you're a second, your suffix is not junior.
Not usually, no.
No.
Can a woman be junior?
Never seen one.
You know, I've always thought about that. I always thought about like why that isn't a thing. You know.
That's a question that I've thought of before.
You know what I mean? Because like, why can someone be, I don't know, Cody Jr. but not
Oh, you know why? I think
Christina
I
Jr..
actually have the answer. I think
Okay.
it's because men you carry their last name and stuff like that most of the time. Like it's like the bloodline stops with me. Like if I die, you know what I mean? Kind of thing. Like you're following what I'm putting down? Or
Okay. No, yeah, I think I am.
That and women have also not had equal rights for a while now.
No?
So
Well,
up to now,
Yeah.
historically,
could that?
So it was not socially acceptable in the same manner because of the.
Oh, so we just took it to a whole. I was okay.
David could tell us more about the 1800s.
No,
I wasn't there for that, but
Hey man, I would love to talk more on that.
on the 1800s.
Yeah.
but instead,
That was back when David was in high school, right?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to make
But
sure.
instead of the 1800s, talking about 2 different numbers. We had Baltimore with 34 points.
Oh, you tried.
Oh, I got it. Against Houston with 10. Talking about Coleridge J. Stroud.
Hey man. Coleridge J.
Coleridge B. His middle name starts with a B.
So it's CBJ Stroud.
Oh, whoa.
Whoa, what? CBJ.
I don't know. He might not have the same middle name as his dad.
You looked up his dad's
Actually,
middle name and not his middle
Interesting
name?
and interesting enough, his full name Coleridge Bernard Stroud the Fourth. So he is a junior.
So the J
at-
is not junior then. If he's
it
the
has to be. His
fourth.
middle name is a B.
No, but he can't be junior if he's the 4th.
I don't make the rules.
You just said. Listen, bro. Someone here isn't making sense, but you know who was making sense last week?
Oh, here we go.
Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson was doing Lamar Jackson things. 16 for 22, 152 passing yards, 100 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, and 2 passing touchdowns. And obviously, you know, all year long we're talking about how CJ Stroud was the dog and how he was doing his thing and he took out Cleveland and people kind of saw him on a roll and you know, it's one of those things when Lamar Jackson turns it on, bro, it's kind of nothing that you can really help.
Especially when the defense is helping Lamar.
100%. 100%. To keep Houston to 10, impressive.
Yeah.
Without saying more than that, super, super impressive.
I mean, I do think it would have been a little bit different if Tank Dell was still healthy and playing.
Would have helped like spread out the defense a little bit, maybe.
A little
you
bit.
think? Maybe
But
give
I
them a
still
chance.
think the Ravens would have taken that. See now from what I see, you know.
Hindsight bias, as we have so gratefully depicted in our podcast.
Yeah.
But, you know, we all had Baltimore last week. It kind of like, why wouldn't you have Baltimore? You know, now we're looking at it, it's like, oh, duh. But, you know, it was 34-10. It wasn't even like, it was by, how many touchdowns is that? 3 and a field goal.
Yep.
It's
Good
wild,
math.
bro. Yeah, I'm a mathematician or whatever. Sometimes I do math, and you know what? Sometimes I don't. That's just the beauty of life.
Every other human being.
Try to make it sound special. You know, I don't always do the same thing, and sometimes I do.
That's literally that's the Dos Equis slogan. I don't always drink, but when I do.
I am the most interesting man in the world. So I've been told by many of my friends. As I've been.
Nobody's ever said that.
It's not true.
Nobody has ever said that.
That's not true that no one's ever said that. I actually have someone in the room that can attest otherwise. I actually have someone in the room.
That's called you the most interesting man in the world?
Hey, David.
I have said that he is a very
come on.
interesting individual. Not the most interesting man in the world,
He
but I did
said
say that he was big.
You didn't tell me? Look, bro, you looked me right in my eye.
Well,
You
I think
tell
didn't
me
you say that when you saw the
that
new shoes
I
you bought?
remind you of the Dos Equis guy? Okay.
The silence means no. In my eyes.
80% of communication is nonverbal. He just told you without telling you that that's exactly what he said. And it doesn't want to come out of his mouth.
The last time I remember David calling
you reminding me of something doesn't necessarily mean that you are the most interesting person in the world.
Listen, you saying that I remind you of the most interesting man in the world means I'm in the conversation. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
David, the last time I heard you say that he was a very interesting person was when he saw his new Pumas.
Don't do that. Look, we're getting into basketball today. We could talk about the LaMelo balls that I bought.
Okay.
It don't matter.
Let's talk about the Ravens.
And look, yeah, I'd be happy to since it's Petey was trying to make this a whole different conversation real quick.
That was the same conversation.
Listen, man, what does that have to do with Lamar Jackson?
We're talking
and
about
CBJ
you being
Stroud the
interested.
fourth?
CBJ the Stroud the fourth.
Come on, bro.
CBJ the Stroud the fourth.
That's his full name, no?
Okay. Anyway.
CBJ Stroud the fourth? I don't know. Good game. Like I said, it was sad to see CJ Stroud go, but that went exactly how I thought. The game that I didn't think how it was gonna go, Green Bay at San Francisco. San Francisco only winning by 3.
This was a good game.
Amazing game. And you know what I want to say about this game is that people, and I can also speak as a big Brock Purdy guy, I can confidently say that I thought that he was gonna go into this game, chest out, puffed out, feeling himself, getting ready to destroy Green Bay when he looked nervous out there, bro. Brock Purdy looked shook.
Green Bay came to play.
They came to play, that's true. And I don't want to make it seem like it wasn't that San Francisco played worse. I think it's that Green Bay had really stepped it up, and they proved to a lot of people that Jordan Love, it really might be exactly as good as people are expecting him to be.
Petey, do you believe that Green Bay has unlocked this method of bringing up quarterbacks? Because
we talked about it before.
It doesn't seem like they miss, right?
Rodgers, Love.
They don't.
And
I saw a lot of Rodgers in Love.
I mentioned this when in the past when we talked about Justin Fields, and I said the Bears can easily draft Caleb Williams and keep Fields. Because it's a very old school football thing to do, is to draft a young quarterback, but keep that veteran and still have him play, and have that rookie under his wing, and let him develop before he is a starter.
But are we
doing a veteran?
But are we doing that with Fields though?
Why not? Just to give Caleb Williams a couple of years. I know it's a different story, but Jordan Love got drafted. He didn't start right away.
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers sitting behind Brett Favre is way different, and Jordan Love sitting behind Aaron Rodgers is also way different.
We had Zach Wilson sitting under Aaron Rodgers. That didn't make a difference.
Well, then that makes this.
He didn't sit behind him long enough. He played 4 plays, Petey.
I know, but he was, he still had Rodgers in his ear talking and helping him.
That's different, dude. That's different.
But look, this is the truth about exactly what you're talking about right now. That is different because you have 2 players potentially that could start at the quarterback position in Chicago that they both probably need to start next season.
Well, we don't know if they're going to.
It seems like Caleb Williams and his agent have been very demanding moving forward into the draft, and I don't doubt for a second that agent would be like, hey, I need to go somewhere that he's going to start immediately.
Yeah, but you don't really have. You can be an agent all you want. They even retracted those statements or said that they were false or whatever when they were I'm not gonna go to Chicago. You're gonna go wherever they draft you.
I was having this conversation with Cody actually last week.
Yeah, we were having this conversation.
And I said that it's not up the player doesn't decide where he's going. It's a draft.
Exactly.
What I said to him exactly, right? Since we're gonna bring up this conversation, is that there's no reason why a player, if the player really decided that he didn't want to play for the team, wouldn't force the league to make decisions to contribute if the player is really as good as he's supposed to be. Perfect example, the whole Eli Manning Phillip Rivers trade when they first got drafted, because Eli Manning was supposed to be a Charger, as everyone remembers, and he said, no, was it Eli that said I refuse to play for the Chargers?
I don't remember
And
that.
that's
to
when
be
they did the
honest with you.
trade. Phillip Rivers was supposed to be a Giant. That quarterback that everybody on the Giants was
Well,
supposed to love
Eli
was supposed to be Phillip Rivers.
before the draft,
And then Eli was supposed to get drafted early, and then he said, I refuse to play for the Chargers.
he still got drafted by the Chargers. The Chargers drafted him,
yes,
but they traded halfway through the draft.
So what good is the draft? That was the conversation we were having.
But see, that
but
but
a
see,
player still can decide where they're gonna go.
exactly. They were able.
It's
they,
up to the team.
They made that trade because they saw Phillip Rivers as a adequate, trade or whatever.
The only
case may
reason
be. But nobody's touching Caleb Williams supposedly in this draft, right? As a quarterback, not Drake May or whoever the case, whoever or what's his kid's name from shoot. Anyway, doesn't matter. Nobody's comparing, so they're not gonna trade him. They're gonna draft him. He has absolutely no choice in that.
You were right. It's Drake May from UNC.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. The way that I see it is just different, bro. Like I hope that doesn't happen because I feel like if the two of them were to lock up in Chicago for any reason, it would be fantastic.
Look,
You know what I
he
mean?
could say he
But
doesn't
I
want to be
just
a
hope
Bear
that
all he wants, but if the Bears,
all I hope is that the spotlight is big enough for the two of them. Is all I'm saying.
It's not gonna be. One of them's gonna have to. I mean,
I hope. All I can do is
you
hope and
watch
pray.
football. You see.
I
you
do,
see how,
bro.
You see how a revolving door this league is. You know what I mean?
especially
Like
now.
exactly. What have you done for me lately? Like we always say when it comes to sports. So
No,
it's
but
like
even like with all the coaching changes and this and that, this guy gets hired as a OC over here, and this guy's now the DC for this and that. Like it's like I don't know if I was a member of the NFL in any means, like I would feel very what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word that means when you're very willing to lose your job?
comfortable.
No.
when you're willing to lose your job.
Not you're willing, but like your company shows you that you're very replaceable.
You're undervalued.
I would feel very. I guess I don't know if replaceable is the word I'm looking for either, but basically I'm trying to say like I would feel very.
Not secure in your job. Like you don't have
Yeah,
job
I would
security?
feel like there's no security in my position.
That's
right
what
now.
the NFL. Yeah, but
That's
that's
what the NFL is
everybody's-
though as a coach now.
Not, but it hasn't. Yo,
for players
for
too.
so long, it was like a Mount Rushmore or more of like all the coaches you knew were gonna be where, and then they all just flipped upside down right now. If you ask me,
I think that's
you
just
know we were talking about this off Mike, bro, about how does Bill Belichick not know if he's gonna coach somewhere next year?
well, he wants to, but I don't think there's a spot for him right now unless
How is there
Exactly.
not a spot for
Because
him?
teams want to go. Listen,
They want to go something new.
what Bill Belichick is going to bring, right? He's going to bring like a culture. It's going to be like this whole thing, and it's like teams now they want to go younger. It's all pass heavy, and you know what I mean, like offensive driven and all
Right.
this stuff like that. So, yeah, Bill Belichick's also 70 years old, dude.
All right, I also
And
got
I also-
something. I got something I think is a hot take, and you
wait,
guys might agree.
we're
with
talking
me.
about Bill Belichick. I
Right.
think the teams that would take him, he won't go to. I think the Commanders would take Belichick. I don't think Belichick would go to the Commanders.
No, because Bill Belichick's main focus for wanting to come back is to beat Shula.
Yep.
And I believe he
Yeah.
needs, 15 wins for that?
Yeah, 1 year.
How about Seattle? Do they have a?
I don't think.
Did they name a coach?
I don't think they've
No,
appointed anyone.
they haven't.
yet.
Those are the only two vacancies that are left. The Commanders and the Seahawks.
Atlanta hasn't made an official.
They did.
announcement
They
either.
did.
Yeah.
Raheem Morris.
What?
Yeah.
When was that?
Yesterday or 2 days ago?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm off my what is it called? I'm off my rocking chair. What is that saying that people
It's
say?
all right, dude. That's why I'm in the chair, bro.
Oh, that's alright. You know what? Fine. But I don't know, man. Like, isn't that kind of crazy though?
We were talking about
This-
Jordan Love. I think Packers fans are upset that, or the one Packer fan that we
I
have
would
listening
be proud
to.
if I was a Green Bay fan right now.
Yeah, I would be excited.
I'd be
Yeah,
super excited.
the
There
team's
was a
great.
whole lot of back foot when he was throwing the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Back
no,
foot.
for real. No, he was throwing off his back foot.
No, I know.
That's the one that threw
but
the
it-
pick
He thinks
as
he's
well.
Derek Jeter out
But
there,
it
bro.
sounded funny when there was a whole lot of back foot when he thought.
I mean, hey, man.
I've never heard it.
There was no front foot, so it was a whole lot of back foot.
There you go.
You picking up what I'm throwing down.
All right.
Some would say
Yeah.
you're smelling what I'm farting.
Yeah, there you go. I'm smelling it. I'm
How's-
smelling it.
How's it smell?
I can't tell you.
Cheesy.
Ew.
Oh, Wisconsin, Green Bay, Cheese,
Oh.
Wisconsin. You see, I got a little.
He's smelling.
So it's alright. Cody doesn't get it oftentimes.
Oh, that's not true. Come on, man.
Oh, it's very true.
But speaking of quarterbacks that people should be proud of going into this season coming up, right? Because I could transition sometimes every once in a while.
Did Jordan Love get enough love though?
I
hope
think
so.
now-
He gets
I
it
think
every time
now-
he says his name.
I think now he does.
He should. He should.
I think Packers fans should be very proud of what their team did against in a game that they were expected to just lose.
Well, what is your question, right? So are you asking if he got enough love from the Packers community, or is he getting enough love from analysts today?
He got love from me, and I'm an analyst.
Oh, hey, I'm analyzing. I'm analyzing a whole lot of love.
I
you
bet he
should be
get. I
receiving.
bet he gets love in Carl's corner as well.
If I was a weatherman, there's a 90% of love in his forecast. If I was a weatherman,
But you're not.
I am.
Is that what your Doppler's thinking of?
What? Listen, man.
Please tell me you know what the Doppler is.
He doesn't. He doesn't. He's looking at you like he has no idea.
All right. So what's the next game? What game are we on?
Now tell me, Mr. Doppler, what does that word mean? Since we're having an informative session here.
It's a satellite
Okay.
to predict the weather.
Okay. That's what it's called?
All right, dude.
I'm straight up. Why can't you just? All right.
I've
dude,
told
what?
you already.
That's what it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Cody, did you have science classes in high school?
I had a whole lot of religion class. I can tell you, like,
Your Catholic education is showing.
listen, I can tell you the what's it called? I can give you the chemical breakdown of like the Holy Spirit, if you need it, something like that. I don't know. I got nothing else for you. You have a question about Deuteronomy? I'm your guy.
Deuteronomy.
So you don't know? I don't know Doppler, but you don't know what Deuteronomy is?
This is not a religious podcast, Cody.
Well, it's not a science podcast either. But now I'm the weatherman.
It is a sports podcast though, so
I would love to get more into this sports. Baker Money Maker is another quarterback who deserves way more love in his forecast. Many conspiracies and conversations about how the Bucks had one timeout in that last drive and they didn't use it.
Yeah, that was like during the knee, right?
Yeah, they took a knee and it was 3rd and long, and then it became like 4th and 13 or something.
I don't think it would have mattered because I think
But if they do that, then they at least stop the time. So then, if they do anything, at least
it would have been 4th down.
It would have been 4th down. Yeah,
And Detroit could have
they
taken a
would've either
field
had
goal from that length. I don't think it would have mattered.
I think it would have because
I
they
don't
weren't
think so.
that far down the field.
They were in field goal range.
So if they miss, or at least it gives them a chance for the clock to stop. Though anything happens, like if you give the chance for a clock to stop, you don't know what happens. And it's the playoffs, bro. What is a better time to just do something that's in the rules because you could pull it out?
But why delay the
somewhere?
inevitable?
Because if there's a slim chance, why not? If I was the Bucks, why not? What else do I have to lose? I was supposed to lose that game.
Todd Bowles also doesn't coach that way. He's a very like conservative, type of coach. You know what I mean? So he's not really one to. Because there was another opportunity where he had the opportunity to go for it on 4th down. They were like 4th and 1, and you know what I mean. It was not like a critical time per se, but it would have put them in really good field position or whatever, and he punted it instead. So, but
I don't know. To me, like, isn't a playoff and like the critical times?
yeah, I mean it's definitely.
I'm not a coach,
Definitely a pressure situation.
You're not a
but-
weatherman either.
Clearly not. So, but
Bro,
I do
your
have a
playoffs
question.
is your chance to just put it all out on the line, whatever options you have.
So now I have a question though about Baker Money Maker.
Right.
Comeback player of the year.
Does he come back next season as a Buck though?
Should.
I would. If I was the Bucks, I wouldn't give him a long deal, but I would give him a
1 year deal.
Another 1 year
give him
deal?
one or two at most.
If you're Baker, do you want another 1 year deal?
I think that's all he's
do I
gonna
have
get.
do I have to prove myself again?
Yeah, it's kind of rough.
I don't think he gets more than 3.
I'll take 3.
I would take 3 if I was him. In Florida,
3 is great.
I would absolutely take that 3 because, well, last year he was a Panther. The year before that he was a Ram, and then he was a Brown before that. So he's been jumping state to
Well,
state
all right.
for a
So you're
long
asking
time.
if he's gonna stay on that team.
Yeah.
The only person that's a free agent that I would take over him is Kirk Cousins. That's it.
You got to see how Kirk Cousins come back from
But
injury.
I mean, no, I would take him over Baker right now.
just in general,
Yeah, I would take him in general.
that's kind of a bold statement.
It's Kirk Cousins.
I don't know, man. It's one of those, like, I feel like it's in the same light that people are kind of talking about Aaron Rodgers. Because when you really think about it, putting them two side by side, this season at least, I'm not saying in the grand scale, because obviously on that end you're picking Aaron. But in this season, they both didn't have a long season to prove themselves. And since they both ended so early, you know, with the same injury, actually, it was like going into this season, it's kind of hard to evaluate where you view them next season. Even though if you ask the regular Jet fan, they're going to be like, oh, of course he's going to come back and be the this and that. But, you know, injury is something real to think about, especially when you're thinking about older players. I don't know how old Kirk Cousins is.
He's 35 and a half.
He's just and a half. How do you
35 years old in 4 months.
35 and a hook.
Yeah, right. Said that like it was the over. But
35 years
I don't know.
and 4 months.
It's something to think about. You
It
know?
is. No, I understand. I would still take Kirk because he's not going to be signing for a ridiculous amount of years on a contract because he is that old. So if you can get him on a couple years deal, I would take him over Baker. But looking at the other QBs you have Ryan Tannehill, Jacoby Brissett, which I know you're a big fan of,
Yeah.
Tyrod Taylor, Marcus Mariota, Sam Darnold, great guy Jameis Winston, Drew Lock, Gardner Minshew, Teddy Bridgewater, and the list goes really on. But
Baker's not better than any of those guys?
I think Baker's better than all those guys, except for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I think so too, honestly.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I think if it's not Kirk Cousins, you keep Baker.
And you know what? Not for nothing, but like Minnesota would be stupid if they didn't come back and sign Kirk Cousins, because you saw how much they struggled not knowing who their quarterback was.
Mm-hmm.
Even through the whole like Josh Dobbs thing, like you could see it. You know, it's not like they're hiding anything.
Now, another thing, while we're on the topic of QBs,
Yeah.
we did name all those QBs. We also have Joe Flacco, which Cleveland is interested as bringing him as a backup.
I did hear about that.
Easton Stick, Carson Wentz, Mason Rudolph, Jake Browning.
I got an interesting one for you. I don't know if you heard this. So
Yeah.
There was rumors. I saw it. I don't know if I sent it to you guys, but so they're predicting where Russell Wilson is going to go next season.
That's a good one.
And a lot of people think that he's going to go to Las Vegas. He goes to Las Vegas. He takes O'Connell. Then it's Russell Wilson linked up with Devontae Adams.
I did see that.
I think that's kind of interesting, though, no?
Maybe.
I would be interested to see that. I think it would be cool to see Russell in the black and white.
I'm gonna say
think so?
I'm gonna say a team.
Did
Yeah.
you say Russell on that list before?
He's not on this list.
Yeah, because I'm Russell Wilson. I'm taking Russell over Baker if he's out there.
Is he a free agent or is he just gonna get traded?
That's the thing. That's like it's kind of a tricky
He's
situation.
not on
of
this
what's
list
going on
of-
in,
Didn't they say they
Denver.
let him? They said they let him go. Yeah, that,
They
we'll
might
have
have-
to do a little bit of research on
Yeah.
that one. Exactly
You
what
gotta
the
get the
parameters.
exact terminology instead of
Yeah.
parted ways.
Right, because that's
You know what I
super
mean?
vague.
Everybody's always parting ways. To be like, all right, if you
What is
leave
this?
my house, you're parting ways with me right now. That
What is
doesn't mean
that?
anything.
Yeah.
But looking at those lists of quarterbacks, who would you want your team to get as a backup?
Baker.
I don't think he's gonna want to be a backup.
That's the thing.
I don't think he's gonna want to
You're
be.
talking
back.
about, are you asking me, like,
So-
personally as a Jet fan, or are you asking, like, if I was any team in the league, which quarterback do I think is the best? Because my situation as a Jet fan, I think, is very specific in the fact that when you look at the Jets, you don't see any long-term solutions yet.
So, David, side note, Russell Wilson was signed until 2029.
They're expected to cut him. I'm
Yeah,
also
but they
looking at
haven't
this.
yet.
Yeah,
So that's why he's not showing up.
Yeah, we're looking
But
at the exact.
he did have his contract was going through the 2028 season.
Yes, I could. No, I remember him having like the.
2028?
Yeah, they signed him to a heck of a contract. They expected him to be there, but then again,
Yeah, then he started doing all that Broncos country. Let's
no,
ride.
that's not what it was. Sean Payton came, and then, but that's the thing. He also had a lot of stipulations, like in his contract, that were like he had to have his own office, like crazy stuff, like
Yeah.
as if he was like Peyton Manning, like resurrected or something.
You know what's going to be interesting? This is looking ahead. The next season, 2025 free agents at QB, we got a list. Dak Prescott, Jared Goff, Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, Trey Lance, Tua, Justin Fields, Mac Jones, and there's a Tommy DeVito. You have others, but that's going to be a heck of a class. Free
It's gonna
agents.
be a good class, but I hope to God after this season of everyone switching places that some of those people just stay where they're at. You know what I mean? Like Jordan Love just is showing glimpse of like something long term. I doubt I'd see him ever leaving Green Bay in the near future, unless for some reason they have a really bad season next season.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh no.
Jake Browning's available. I would love to see him somewhere good. I think Russell Wilson, hot take, Patriots.
Oh. Team up with Gerard Mayo.
Whatever they got going on over there, but I think that's somebody that they might go after over there.
I think they should.
Well, going back to that Detroit and Tampa game, I mean, yeah, well, no surprise there. Petey was the only one who took the Bucks.
Hey.
What? No, what? What do you mean?
They looked pretty good.
No,
I mean,
I'm
that
not.
was his guy though. It was
Yeah,
his
I'm
boy,
not- I'm not
basically.
I was
Baker
I was
and-
gonna pick Baker Mayfield until I couldn't anymore.
Listen,
Well, you did.
That's
You did that.
And I can't anymore.
Definitely did that
Yeah,
one, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah.
You know, until he couldn't no more. You know what? You cannot no more.
Hey,
So-
but I'm officially a Detroit fan for the rest of the playoffs.
I'll take that.
because they. That's so interesting of you. You know, sometimes when a team takes out the team that I'm rooting for, I always root directly against those people.
Yeah, but Detroit just got so much to root. As a Mets fan myself, often being
Hello?
let me finish. Often being the underdog in a lot of scenarios and having spent years not being in a playoff or winning, Detroit's there for the first time in a long time. So watching them do this is very like.
Yeah.
Why are you looking at me like that? Because it's true.
No.
Because I know as a Jets fan, you can connect to Detroit.
It's not that I don't understand where you're coming from. It's just I wasn't prepared for the direction you were heading towards. But I like how you summed it up, though.
Keeping you on your feet.
It was a little loose. I'm not gonna
It
hold
was pretty
you.
tight.
We're
Like a
talking
Joe
about- you
Flacco
said,
spiral.
Oh, Detroit. Speaking of the Mets.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say speaking of the Mets. I said I relate to them and their fans.
You made sense.
So I will be rooting for them.
Look, speaking of, look,
And Dan Campbell is an awesome coach.
We also have to, because we've been glazing over these a little bit. We also had a parlay, just in case anybody put in the lock.
Oh yeah, my last parlay for
hopefully not. They were looking ugly.
my
So
San
hopefully not, bro.
My San Francisco against Green Bay parlay. I had San Fran money line that hit. I had a McCaffrey touchdown that hit, but the over on 50.5 did not, unfortunately.
Yeah, and talking about this Tampa Bay Detroit game, I had Baker 250 that hit, St. Brown 90 plus that didn't hit. He only had 77, and Tampa Bay +5 that one did not hit.
Surprise, surprise.
Listen. What's that video? Listen, Linda. It's not in the cards for me right now.
Or a
But
lot of times.
when you're up, and when you're down, and when you're only halfway up, you're neither up or down. So all I'm saying is it's only up from here.
Is Josh Allen down?
He's down.
No, man.
Speaking of down, good transition
I'm so
there.
glad that you said that because that's a great way to transition that into this. That game was just as good as all the other Kansas City Buffalo games, and Josh Allen deserves credit.
Oh my God! Why?
He does.
For what?
Because
For
everybody's
missing Stephon Diggs right across his face?
everybody's talking bad about him. He's known to not be a great player this season.
Yo.
But
Oh my God, yo.
look, I'm not saying that. I was rooting for him. I was. I'm tired of Kansas City.
Dude,
I'm just gonna say it. Everybody, I'm tired of them.
you're
I'm
making
tired
me
of Kansas City.
sick right now, dude.
No, I'm gonna tell
You're
you
making
why.
me sick to
I
my
like him
stomach.
as a player. You want to talk about someone that's a good guy? Hey, he's a good guy.
Right, but when
Right?
but when the people
He
are going
looked
to
like
start?
a Malibu Barbie doll in those high school photos that kept popping up of him every now and
why
again.
is it- but why
Fluffy
is
hair
it-
and all that?
But why is it that Josh Allen keeps getting put into this conversation of all these elites and he doesn't beat anybody elite? He doesn't.
He's losing to the.
It's always his team. Oh, well, they could have did this. They could have did that. We all watched
put it
that
like
game.
this. I'll
We
put it
all
like
watched
this.
that game. Josh Allen missed. I'm tired of having this conversation about this guy, dude.
I'll put it like
I'm
this.
tired of it.
I'll put it like this. I'm more confident into next season thinking of Josh Allen than I am of Dak Prescott.
Josh Allen will be exactly what he is this season, next season. He's gonna do good in the whatever. He's gonna have these numbers. You're gonna see him
not
run.
true.
Okay, watch.
Because look,
Watch.
you gotta think.
We'll
of
be
it.
here. We'll be here next season.
No.
And you watch.
They
And you
are
watch.
starting the season brand new with this offensive coordinator that
I
had
don't
to scramble
care about
to figure
that.
it out halfway
I
through the
don't
season.
care about
and
that.
They still got to
It's
the
Josh.
last round
It's
before
Josh.
this one.
It is Josh. He is physically. And this is
I
what it
I
is.
don't like when people say that because
This is
even
what he
Noel
is.
said that when we were talking on the
This
phone
is
the
what
other
he
day.
is. This is what he
Go
is.
ahead, bro.
People all over his physical attributes. He has a cannon for an arm. This guy, he's a guy. He's running over people. All that great stuff, right? All those cool little intangibles. But
Right.
the guy messes up in big moments, and it doesn't get spotlighted enough.
You think so? You
I
think
know
he's-
so.
You think he's not cut out for January football?
I don't think he's the problem.
I don't think he's a problem either, bro.
Next season, I'm not saying anything one word about
He's
next
not
season.
John Elway.
Next season, we were going to see John Elway won what 3?
That's what I'm saying. He's not John Elway. People always compare him to John Elway. He's not John Elway. And, they always show that. Like, during the game, they'll have, like, a commercial and it'll be, like, little highlight reel
I give Josh 1.
in his career.
1
Won what, ring?
ring.
I think he'll
I
take
want
that.
to talk about this. Since you're talking about that, real quick. I know we're about to get into what how we felt about these games coming up for this week, but I want to say this, right? I was listening to 98.7 in the morning at 9:30 this morning. I don't remember who the name of that guy is on the air at that time. Do you know? I know you're a radio guy.
98.7 in the morning. Like recently,
Like this morning.
this morning on the weekends, I don't listen to too much. So.
Okay. This
But it's probably
guy,
like Dan Grasso or something like
whoever
that.
he was, had the gall, right? And I want to know if you think this is true. I said
The
this to Pete
unmitigated
before.
gall.
He had the nerve to get on the radio this morning and say, "This is the best chance Lamar Jackson will ever have at winning a Super Bowl in his entire career."
I think that's nuts.
Well,
No, I'm gonna tell you why I think that's crazy.
please.
Even looking back at the bracket that the Ravens had to go through, right? They had to beat Houston, which was
Right.
no light work at all.
Right.
They still have to go through Kansas City, which is a dynasty team that's
Right.
won championships, that has been there
So
multiple
it's not an
times.
easy road.
No.
At all.
If they beat Kansas City, they still possibly have to go against San Francisco.
Not
I
an
don't-
easy road.
No, I think this might be one of the toughest roads to a championship I've seen in a while.
Now, I want to ask you this. Do you guys remember, like, a couple weeks ago, we had the whole debate about, Josh Allen contributes to 86% of the Bills' touchdowns, so he deserves MVP because he contributes the most to their success. And you remember that conversation, don't you?
Yeah, Richard
All right,
Sherman.
Richard Sherman. The other aspect of it that someone else was arguing is that the MVP should be, at that point in time, what was that, week 16, maybe?
I was probably Dak at that point.
No, Lamar. That was the other person that people were
Oh,
arguing
week 16, yeah.
Because that was when Lamar started finally exploding again. So, when you look at it then compared to now, right? And you look at the success that the Bills have had in any playoff succession versus what Lamar has done in the last, let's say, 3 years, who would you say is a more successful quarterback up until this date, Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen?
I think I'd have to see what happens at the end of this playoff. But if you're saying like
If it stopped right now, stop today.
Has Josh Allen always had a better team to work with than Lamar?
But that's not my question. I said who has been more successful.
Well, Lamar has an MVP.
He does have an MVP.
And Josh doesn't. So doesn't that make you more successful off the door?
Well, that's I mean, I guess so, but then you also got to think, doesn't Buffalo has more playoff wins than Baltimore in the last couple of years, no?
Probably.
Better team.
I mean, success for a quarterback is success for the team. You're only as successful as your team.
Right, but if you got a good team around you, it's easy to be successful.
So does that mean that Lamar finally has a team good enough for his attributes, or does that mean that Josh Allen has the worst team he's had in the last 3 years?
I think that Lamar has a team that is very well built and catered to what he does.
I think they could.
well.
I think it's. I don't want to say easy, but I think they can have a better team.
Who?
The Ravens.
They could have.
They have a great
could.
defense. Gus Edwards isn't a star running back.
Mm-mm.
They don't have a star receiver.
Mm-mm.
They have a star tight end that hasn't played the last couple of weeks.
Mhm.
But their number one is Zay Flowers,
Mm-hmm.
who's a rookie.
Right.
Right.
I think that team can easily be better for Lamar, this is why I don't think this is the best chance they have a championship.
100%.
Because if they get a big star receiver, they have so many running backs that have gotten hurt too, unfortunately. Like Keaton Mitchell, they have so many stars. But I still think that this team can improve.
100%.
And that's crazy to think that, this is the team you're talking about that's had a bye week going into the playoffs. Like, they could be better, but they're number one.
Yeah, but this goes back to what?
You know what I'm saying, though?
Defense wins championships.
So let me
right?
explain it this way. The Chiefs right now imagine the Chiefs of years past, right? When they had Tyreek Hill. When they had all those players. You still had an elite. You
Kareem
still had
Hunt.
Kareem Hunt. You
Yeah.
had Kelsey at his prime. You had Mahomes at his prime. You had everything working together. The Ravens don't have that right now.
I find it interesting that you said at his prime.
Kelsey?
Do you think that
I think
Pat
Kelsey's at the end of his
is
career.
No longer in
I
his
agree with
prime?
that.
I
How
think he's
about
got
Pat? You
like
think
two.
Pat is also
No.
Oh, no. Pat's got a while ago.
Kelsey just as a tight end, he's old for his
Do you
position.
do you think we have yet to see the best of Pat Mahomes?
It's
That's the
possible.
question.
Dude,
It's possible.
Yeah, dude. Like, you got to understand. Well, let me tell you, because there's also speculation right now about if, whether he wins or loses, Andy Reid might walk away. He's been doing this for a long time.
I don't think he walks away until Mahomes is done.
You don't think until he? So
No,
if
bro,
Andy Reid,
Reid's old, dude.
if somehow they get to the Super Bowl and they win,
He'll retire.
you think he'd retire?
Yo.
No.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because there's no way he's making it through Pat Mahomes' entire 10-year contract.
Right.
No shot.
He's only 65.
Okay, you think he's gonna make it as 70?
Belichick
4?
71 and still wants to coach.
Okay. Pete Carroll just got an advisory role at 73. We're talking about 74.
We're talking about. I think.
We're not talking about this. What is it that SpongeBob said?
Yep.
It's a whole different argument, bro.
I don't think Reed retires in the next 3 years.
I think Reed looks like Dr. Eggman from Sonic. And if he keeps at it long enough, no disrespect to the man, he's one of the best coaches in the NFL. But you see it. You look at him, bro. There's some coaches that are old enough. Like, right now, okay, whatever, da-da-da. Bill Belichick's potentially not going to have a job this season coming up. He's old enough to retire.
Yeah, but the reason that I asked that is because Andy Reid's you never heard of like, all right, Bill Belichick, we know that he wants to beat Shula. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't think that Andy Reid has those same motivations. Yes, I think that he wants to win and stuff like that. But I really do think about it like this. The Chiefs, nobody realistically, other than the fact that Patrick Mahomes is a magician, but do we really think that the Chiefs could win a Super Bowl? So for me, it's like,
I think as long as Mahomes is on that team, they have a chance. To win
obviously
Super
they
Bowl
have a
every year.
chance. Yeah, obviously they have a chance, but I don't know. I feel like with the way the season was for the Chiefs, it was a lot more of a grind, right? Like a lot more probably had to go into it, a lot more preparation and stuff like that. So if you're Andy Reid, how many more of those seasons do you have, and how much more luck is in that pot?
I like that.
You know what I mean? Like how much, like, because realistically, what Tom Brady did and Bill Belichick, we'll never see that again, most likely, right?
In our lifetime, most likely. No.
Most likely. So, and it's really hard to win a Super Bowl any year.
Right.
So
now let me ask you this, because this was bubbling in my brain as you were saying that, and I would love to know your answer on this as well. Which team do you think would struggle more? God forbid something happened to their starting quarterback. The Chiefs?
The Chiefs.
Or the Ravens?
The Chiefs.
Ooh, that's tough. The Ravens, maybe.
Come on, bro. And this is what I wanted to say, too. I mean, look, we're about to get into...
Could you name me the backups on either of those teams?
Hunter or Huntley is the backup on the Ravens. Respectfully, that guy's a bum. He wears number 2. His name is Huntley. I don't know what his first name is. I know I've seen the bright number 2 on the back of that purple jersey go right into the ground off a sack. He's always on the ground. They try to bring in like another mobile guy.
Yeah, because they need to.
Because they want to fill in that same offensive scheme with other people, and he's good on his legs, but he always gets caught.
No, but that's because that's how their team is.
At least
built.
it's a name you know, because the backup QB on the Chiefs is Blaine Gabbert.
We know Blaine Gabbert.
Who knows Blaine Gabbert?
Blaine Gabbert was drafted by the Jaguars. Like,
Oh, you're one of those that says Jaguars.
Are you?
the Jags.
No. But say the word again. by
Jaguars?
Oh, it's just Jaguars.
You want to say Jaguar?
No, it's just a
Jaguar.
Jaguar.
No, I.
A Jaguar? How about a Jaguar?
Where's the ire coming from?
Jaguar. Like, bro, who is this guy?
He was
man?
born in
Yo,
the
he was
1900s.
born when they used to say "Hear ye." I'm telling you,
The
it's
Jacksonville
all in the same
Jaguars
category.
are here playing some football today.
And we're off talking about the National Football League. Welcome to everybody. And today we're going to watch the Buffalo Bills are playing against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, not the Jaguars.
Everything back then just sounded like an auction.
Anyway, was I right about Blaine Gabbert, though?
He just has a funny face. That's all I can tell you.
Why don't you look?
He
it
has
up
a
and bring
mullet.
that back to us. I'd love to know.
He has
more
a
about
mullet.
Blaine Gabbert,
Would you
bro.
really?
He was drafted
I
by
will.
the Jaguars.
Ah, you see? I know a little
He
something.
was the 10th overall pick.
See, I know a
in the
little
draft.
I
something.
thought you were gonna say he wasn't drafted by the Jaguars.
No, he was.
He was drafted by the
But
Jaguars.
back to my point about Andy Reid. He started out his career in Philly.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Never won anything over there. Came to Kansas City in 2013.
Right.
They struggled the first couple of years. Then they finally got to the promised land multiple times, and he won 2 rings.
Oh, the promised land.
I think as a coach, and you've spent that's over a decade losing, and you finally have this team that can win at any point. You don't leave until you don't have that chance anymore.
Not to get religious on you.
Yeah, I mean,
Have you ever heard the story of Moses?
when he parted the Red Sea.
No.
Oh, there's another story.
So after he parted the Red Sea,
Oh, the sequel.
listen, man, it's real quick because I know it. Look, sometimes I'm about quotes, and sometimes it gets a little serious in here. Okay,
We can be serious.
Moses got them to Israel, and then he didn't live in Israel. He died before they all made it, and then he still got them there.
Well, did he die or did he leave?
Like Mark Jackson with the Warriors.
That's all. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you catch someone that just brings them exactly where they need to be, might build the team, might set the tone, might this and that, and then right when they get popping, the team is out of there.
I don't think he'd leave without having someone that he trusts to leave it with. I'll say that at least.
Well, and that's why this is also a speculation because obviously Bill Belichick doesn't have a job right now, right?
Right.
So what if Andy Reid was to leave?
No,
don't
there's
think-
no point. Belichick's older.
I think he.
And you don't think-
he
and you don't think-
retires.
and you
I
don't
think
think-
he retires a chief.
Who?
Andy Reid.
No, obviously that. I'm saying if
No, you're
He-
saying Belichick to the Chiefs now. I don't. That doesn't make any sense to me. I think
that Pat really has a heavy hold on how that offense is orchestrated, where Bill Belichick would want a bigger.
How about
piece of
this?
that.
I think Andy Reid at least sees the end of Kelsey's career. At least.
You want to bet on it?
I will bet on it.
All right.
Tune in to Cody's Corner season 4.
All right.
Well, these guys got a game tomorrow.
Let me make a bet on you right now, please. I would love to.
Yeah.
If Andy Reid makes it to the end of Travis Kelce's career,
Yeah.
whatever my loss count for the fantasy basketball is, you add 1.
Fantasy basketball.
Yeah. For those who don't
This
know
isn't
what
going to
I'm
happen
talking
for years.
about- What do you mean?
Kelsey retiring.
Well, let's just say that this is the same punishment then.
Okay.
All right, so
Oh, you're talking about the fantasy punishment.
Yes.
Oh,
So for
well,
those
you're
who
gonna
don't know,
you're gonna
for
already
those-
have done that.
Look, I'm saying to go forward. I'm not talking about this season. I'm talking about.
So you're
for
expecting
seasons
to lose
come.
again.
I expect multiple biscuits to be eaten. So for those who don't know what I'm talking about here, stay tuned for what's about to come into the show in the near future. I'm in a fantasy basketball league with Petey and a couple of our friends, and
Yeah.
whoever comes in last has to eat that amount of losses in Popeye's biscuits. Shout out Popeye's. Without a drink.
So let's say, for example, right now Cody's at 11 losses in fantasy. Let's say he finishes the season at 15. He has to eat 15 biscuits with no bev.
And see how it comes. So you guys are gonna see that. So what I was saying, I'm assuming that if this is the same
You're
punishment-
assuming you're gonna be losing for a long time.
No. But I'm assuming that. I guess so. Yeah, that would be the assumption.
That's what
if
I'm saying.
Putting a bet on
Yeah.
the loss. Yeah, no, I don't want to bet against myself or make anyone else think that I'm losing.
How about
bro.
we think of a bet for next episode, and we'll come back to that.
Sounds good to me.
Oh man.
More importantly, it's time for our boom bust recap of last week. Boom, 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 boom. So,
So
let's start it off.
what do you want to tell them? Isn't there something a little different about this week?
We're not gonna. Well, no, we're gonna recap the old ones.
Oh my God, no!
I know you don't want to talk about
I
it.
was
Yeah,
trying to
you
skip it,
can't
but
skip
it's fine.
that. So, as we know, Cody made a pick and I just copied him. So, Cody, why don't we talk about how that turned out for us?
You are something else, huh? So, I picked Brandon Ayuk to boom, and Petey picked him to bust, right? Because why not? Double-edged sword, as some might recall from the last episode, and Brandon Ayuk had 4.7 points, so that's a W for Petey and an automatic L for me. Right, and then you got Amon. I had Amon-Ra St. Brown against Tampa Bay for about 20, and he got 17.7. Didn't hit that one either. So then we got Rashad White for PD at a bust, with 17.1. He was averaging 15.8, and L for PD.
There you go, a rare one.
We could just talk about it. He
can talk
lost
about
that
it.
one, and he deserved to lose that one. He made the wrong decision. So just going on. Oh, but look. If you want to give credit where credit's
This
due,
one's a fun one.
Josh Allen. I projected 23.2, right?
I decided to copy Cody again on
and
this
you
one.
copied me again. Obviously, also averaging 23.2, and then he got exactly 23.2. So that just means that both of us won that one. That one was really interesting.
That was funny. I remember.
I'm not gonna lie to you. You told me to read it beforehand, and I was like, you know what? Like, all I saw was you won 3 in a row. So I was kind of just like, you suck, and I don't want to see this, and I'm gonna look at it later. I didn't realize that was how the last one went, though. That is really cool.
Yeah, no,
What
it
are
was really-
the odds of that?
Probably very low, but it is an average for a reason, I guess.
Hey, man.
So the score is updated. I won't talk about losses. I have 16 points in boom bust. Cody has 8.
I'm gonna catch up. Don't count me out. Is all I'm saying.
Well, that'll bring us into this week's games.
Talking about some teams are getting counted out right here, right now.
Mm.
Oh no, man! Like Kansas City, Baltimore. Like we were talking about it. Look, this is what I wanted to say about these 4 teams, right? Because I think, funny enough, that the teams that are playing each other are basically schematically set up very similarly to the teams that they're playing against. Perfect example: the Chiefs play the Ravens, right? Both of those teams perform so well because they base most of their skill set on the success of their star quarterbacks, being Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, right?
Yep.
Where in the NFC, it's very similar in that those teams, both the 49ers and the Lions, their offensive scheme is that they have really good skill players, and the quarterback is arguably the worst person on the field.
They both have great running games.
And they both have that's what I'm saying, bro. Look, you got the worst player on both sides of the ball is Jared Goff and Brock Purdy, arguably. Yes or no? It's kind of funny how it turned out that way. It's kind of like both the teams are playing a mirror of themselves.
Isn't that crazy how you just made that statement about Jared Goff and Brock Purdy, and Jared Goff was the first overall pick and Brock Purdy was the last?
Right?
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's Mr. Irrelevant. You know what I mean?
He's relevant now.
You know, Lamar Jackson was picked last in the first round.
In the first round, but Purdy was.
But still,
Purdy
look,
was
late
last.
round.
how many times? No, but how many times have you seen that pop up on Instagram? It's like, oh, the other
I've
two
actually never seen
quarterbacks
that, I'm
that
not
were
gonna
chosen above Lamar Jackson was Sam Darnold and Josh Rosen.
The Jets
Yeah.
could have had Lamar Jackson.
Who's Josh Rosen?
Oh, you know Josh Rosen. is.
No. But who is he?
Now nobody.
Exactly, bro. He's probably selling cars somewhere.
Oh,
the
come
draft is extremely difficult. That's why the draft is a crapshoot.
Yeah, it is. But it's
So
just
should the
interesting to
Bears
think that there was
draft
so many
Caleb
people
Williams?
that missed on Lamar. You know what I mean? Like,
And yes, the Bears should still draft Caleb Williams.
why not?
When you have somebody like Fields that has proved it, I know there's a conversation we shouldn't be having right now, but
Hey, we can have it. Hey, look.
I don't know. I think Fields has proved that he can be an NFL caliber player, quarterback.
I don't know. I still got to see some more. Almost like the way I really want to see this game tomorrow.
Transition galore.
Oh my God! Everybody just thinks they're a professional now. The people nowadays. I don't know, man. I got
Well, listen, San Francisco is going to be making its 19th conference championship game appearance, which is
Wait, we're talking
crazy.
about Kansas City. We skipped it. Oh, did we finish talking? We didn't make our picks.
No.
We didn't make our picks?
No.
We didn't make our picks yet. I was gonna let it roll off the tongue a little bit. You know, it was a little bit of a Lamar Jackson against Pat Mahomes. He's 3-1 playing against Lamar Jackson, so it's kind of looking good for the Chiefs on their end. I don't know, man. It's kind of interesting. Fun fact from David in the notes: since
Spagnola?
Spagnola.
You know Cody's a tough time with names.
No, Tunga Vailoa. I'll never forget that one ever again in life. Say that one more time.
Since Spagnola became the defensive coordinator in 2019, the Chiefs have allowed the most rushing TDs to QBs in the regular season at 26. Josh Allen had 2 last week.
Thank you, David.
You're
I
very
appreciate
welcome.
That
No
kinda,
problem.
You know what's funny? Your voice is in my ear. It kind of felt like an audiobook for a second. That was kind of interesting.
No problem.
Maybe we should drop an audiobook. What do you think about that?
A Cody Corner special. You should read Christmas Carol.
No, it'll be like my voice, but just reading like children's books, like
Christmas Carol.
like Winnie the Pooh and things like that. Like Winnie.
You should read the rest of these notes.
You know what? I was having a hard time reading some of them
Read
because I
these
can't
nuts.
read too well. So I guess maybe I'll just let you know my pick. Look, all the good defenses except Lamar's
defense
except
is great.
Baltimore and the 49ers have been eliminated. You know, we had the whole argument about do defenses still win championships. The Ravens are still there, man. And honestly, I don't think that there's anything to compare when you're talking about comparing these two defenses to each other. Baltimore's defense is Kansas City's defense.
Kansas City's defense
It's
has
not
been
Baltimore,
the
though.
best that they've had in the past. It's not Baltimore. It's the best that they've had in the past couple of years.
Even the ones that they had when they won the chip.
Yeah. They won those chips just because Pat Mahomes and Tyreek Hill were just putting up numbers. And Kelsey, of course.
Yeah, I guess so.
They were just an offensive juggernaut, but everybody knew that they were also going to get scored on. But now it's a little bit different.
But that's not stopping me. I got Baltimore this game.
I know you mentioned you didn't want to see Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl.
No, absolutely not. I don't.
Did you hear what Pat Mahomes' dad said?
Oh yeah, I did. They were like, "Oh, if the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl, are you gonna sit with Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl?" And he said, "I hope not."
Shout out Pat Mahomes Sr., former Met.
Fun fact.
Former Met.
But fun fact. I actually was in a restaurant once where he was also leaving, and I definitely bumped into him and knocked a cigar out of his hand.
That's very offensive of you.
I did that. That's a true story.
Did you
that
apologize?
I didn't even get a chance to. It was one of those like I backed up, didn't know I backed up, and then when I turned around, they were like, dude, that was Pat Mahomes' dad. And I was like, what? And I didn't even realize, but I didn't get a chance to say sorry. He was already out the door.
Well, no disrespect to Pat Mahomes' dad, but I'm taking Baltimore.
I'm gonna take Kansas City. I'm taking the experience.
Oh.
And I also got a parlay for the people.
Okay.
If they want it,
Talking.
I'm locking it in. I'm taking Lamar 2+ TDs. Give me Mahomes for 225+ on the passing yards. Give me Kelsey for 75+ receiving yards too. And I'm gonna take Rashee Rice, however you want to pronounce it, for 40+ yards.
Okay.
And that's my parlay.
Now, Petey, I have a question for you before we talk a little bit about your part.
I'm saving mine for last.
Oh, you're gonna save yours for last.
Yep.
Petey's got a special for us.
How are you gonna
I
save
do.
it for last? I don't have a parlay.
You have them for next game. Mine's a combined. Nah, not gonna even spoil it.
Oh, you spoiled it. That's it. It's already spoiled.
No, I'm still talking about it last. I'm not talking about it until the end.
The lid is off the can.
I'm not talking about it to the end.
The pop is out the soda.
It's still waiting.
It's carbonating now.
Still waiting.
There's.
I'll let
it's
it.
gonna be
I'll let it.
flat
I'll
soda
let
now
it
at
sit.
this
Let it
I
simmer.
will let it.
Let it
sit.
simmer.
I don't know, man. So look, wasn't it Pacheco that has a potential toe injury?
Why are we talking about Pacheco?
Because we got to talk about the Chiefs.
Okay, yeah, he has a potential toe
There's
injury.
There's a reason that everybody has to make their decisions.
David,
around
could
here
you
about
could
why
you figure out which toe is it? Which toe is
what
hurting?
does that matter?
I don't know.
It's most likely if it's a toe.
Most
probably
likely it's big toe.
It's probably big toe, probably some type of like turf toe or whatever they call it. You know what I mean?
That affects
Pacheco.
that affects Mister. I like to run with a crazy form. You know
Exactly.
that's something that you got to contribute. What if you can't put that extra into that that stride? That's something you got to think about. All I'm
So
saying, they said that he looked like he eats people.
via ESPN,
No, it looks like he bites people. That's what he said.
Pacheco was present for practice yesterday,
Okay,
as of Friday.
does that scare you at all with your choice?
Not at all.
All right,
It's gonna be
all
a
right.
game time. I'm sure they're gonna, and if they have him, they may try to decoy him. Who knows? But
Yeah.
Well,
So, talking about people that I have no idea.
talking
I
about
tried,
big
I tried.
toes, you got a big one over there in San Fran with George Kittle at tight end. 'Cause I'm sure he has a big
I
toe.
would love to say another way that I would have said that because I
Yeah.
didn't know you were gonna take it off the big toe.
Oh, go ahead.
No, ready? I got you. Ready? Speaking of big toe, you got one in Detroit that's really gonna jam.
I guess.
You like that one?
I
Like
know,
toe
I didn't-
jam. Come on,
No,
toe jam.
I don't know what a
Alright.
toe jam
No,
is.
no. All right, you got Detroit at San Francisco. It's an interesting one. As we all know, Detroit's playoff games have been exciting at Ford Field. You got this one at San Francisco. They're leaving that cold weather, even though it's indoors, whatever. But they're going to San Francisco finally.
I just
I
thought of
don't
a
know,
better
man, like-
transition. It's upsetting.
I'm sorry.
I just thought of a better transition.
Would you like to share it with the class?
Yeah, we can just cut off all the audio and start from here. So we're gonna pretend none of that happened. So speaking of toes, we got two healthy toes on the running backs in Detroit.
Oh no! Now that's giving tiptoe
Tiptoe.
through the window. I don't know. I gave you your chance like the same way you gave me mine. I respect it.
Thank you.
Look, man, I it's hard for me to pick this game, especially because this game, this is the team I've been rooting for all year long. It's San Francisco. Even when we were watching the San Francisco Green Bay game, I thought I was rooting for Green Bay, and then San Francisco would make something happen, and I would get excited.
I've seen Cody root for about 4 different teams in the past week.
Listen, bro, like, because it's the playoffs. Like, yo, as a Jet fan, I'm just giving it up to whoever wants it at this point. My team's not in it.
Who wants it more?
No, be for real, bro. I wanted Green Bay. Look, I swear to you, I've said this to multiple people, and it's not just because of the whole Aaron Rodgers thing. If I wasn't a Jets fan, 100%, I'd be a Green Bay fan. I don't know if I've said that on the show before, but that's just facts. That's who I'd be.
What do you think of that, David?
So, I don't know.
Cody's got to chill.
There's just so much sighing. Do you hear the... Jaguars.
So who are you picking, bro?
Hear you.
No, this is what I gotta tell you. So, I've always been so confident in this team all season long, and honestly, Brock Purdy looks scared against Green Bay.
Does he look scared, or they lost Debo early in that game?
I mean, he is supposed to play this game.
He's
so
playing
that
this
could-
game.
That could be the deciding factor.
I think it will be.
But, it doesn't give me confidence when you lose one player and your offense folds like that.
So let me
Even though they won, obviously they're here, but like, come on.
Let me
bro,
say
you
this,
know?
Cody. I know you're not huge into baseball. I know you're going to be watching more this season.
Oh, yes.
During the playoffs, we had Arizona, a wild card team nobody expected much from, but they got hot at the right time. And they made it all the way to the World Series.
Okay.
And in their way, they had the Dodgers, the heavy favorite. But when a team
What
is
year was this?
this year,
Okay.
when a team is hot, I think it is very hard to stop them. And Detroit is looking like that team right now. I don't think it matters who's in their way. It didn't matter if the Dodgers in Arizona, and I don't think it's going to matter much in San Fran with Detroit. I think Detroit has a really good chance at beating them.
100%.
But
So-
saying all that, I still have San Fran.
How are you gonna say all that and then have San Fran?
I have San Fran. I have Kansas City, and a San Fran rematch.
Listen, well, before you get into a little more on why you have San Fran, I got a couple fun notes on San Fran. San Francisco will be making its NFL record 19th conference championship game appearance. Detroit is just in its second conference title game of the Super Bowl era and the first since the 1991 season. The game has all the makings of being somewhat of a heavyweight fight as both teams thrive on physicality. Both of them are known to have a really good rushing defense, I might add, where their passing defense, some might say, is passive. Passive-
You're asking for a lot of
passive
fist
defense.
bumps today.
I'm a fist bumper. Week 15 holds up against the Lions' two-headed rushing attack of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery will go a long way in determining whether Detroit can spring the upset. And I think that's true, man. If you're talking about which team has a better running game,
Ooh,
oh, man.
wait for it.
Sorry.
Boom, boom,
Dramatic
boom, boom,
pause.
boom.
It's still San Francisco. But I'll say this to you. The conversation that we love to have, right? McCaffrey is a better running back.
Yes, he is.
Detroit
I think San Fran's
might
a
have
better
a
running
better
game.
running game.
Ooh, I don't know about
I don't
that.
know about that one.
I don't know
think
about that
so?
one either.
No.
Why
I
not?
don't know about that. Especially when Debo is healthy. I don't know about that.
I
But
think
Debo's not part of the running game.
Oh, he is big
He
time.
is. He is
I mean,
part of the
he
running
is,
game.
He is.
He
but,
is.
Like,
I think it's gonna show.
is
I
it
think
more
it's-
impressive? We actually had this debate. Like, I'm pretty sure we had this conversation, funny enough, about the running backs on the Lions going to San Francisco. Didn't we have this conversation? And it was like, oh, if you put 3 whatever running backs
Oh, we were talking
on
about San Fran back then.
Yeah, we definitely had this conversation. And here it is scripting itself together, tying it up with a perfect bow and ribbon. I don't know, man.
Bow and a ribbon.
It's a, yeah,
Both.
you have to use a ribbon to make a bow.
It's just one thing.
No.
The bow is the ribbon.
You can make a bow
ribbon
out of
is the
something
bow?
that isn't a ribbon.
Well, listen. The line on this game, guys. The line on this game is they're giving the Lions +7 and a hook, man. So clearly they got the 49ers with a touchdown at the minimum.
I mean,
But I want Detroit to win, but I do think San Fran is going to the Super Bowl.
let me have a hot take for you. I'll give you something.
Give it to me.
I bet
Please.
to you that Detroit has a rushing touchdown before San Francisco has a rushing
Take
touchdown.
that bet, PD.
I'm taking that.
Take
Because
it.
you're
taking
gonna
that.
you're gonna lose that. Take that.
I'm taking that.
Christian McCaffrey's gonna blow one for the first. Like he always does it every game.
Oh, Cody's already nervous.
Hey, man. No, I'm not
And I saw
nervous,
the
bro.
handshake. I saw
All right,
the
so
shake.
he saw the shake. If I win this bet,
Oh, no, what you would add something else after we shook hands?
But you didn't bet on anything. Nothing was on the line.
how about this? Whoever wins the bet gets an extra point in their boom bust.
I'm cool with that.
Okay.
There you
Cool
go.
with that.
There you go.
All right. Well, speaking of little points, handshakes, deals, hearsay, what say, I got a parlay of my own
Okay.
for this game. Got Christian McCaffrey anytime, which seems to be the pattern for any parlays on
Hopefully,
the 49ers.
it's the first touchdown too.
Hopefully not. So anytime means anytime after the Lions score their first rushing touchdown. You got the over at 51.5. I'm taking that. You got Josh Reynolds at 50 receiving yards.
Wow,
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'd be a little nervous.
Everybody
now,
has been putting bets on Amon-Ra, and they haven't been hitting, them,
including you.
including me. I'm trying to learn here.
Yeah, Amon-Ra. I needed him for like 2 more yards, and he failed me.
I'm telling you,
It was a tough
he's
one.
not a man for the books.
It was a tough one.
Not a man for the books, but
That's why he's not in the Pro Bowl. No, sorry.
I said, oh,
sorry,
I know
sorry,
that. I know that one burned him a little bit. He might have to go take an ice bath after that one. But Josh Reynolds over 50. He always gets. It's either 20 or 70. So 50 sounded like a safe number between somewhere in there. So I got Josh Reynolds for over 50. Got a little cute little three-legger.
Okay.
Something
Well.
calm.
And that brings us to
PD, the Parlay Kings Parlay of the Week.
Woo!
All right, since I am known as the king,
Huzzah! Sorry.
I gave Cody and David each their game, and I'm going to make a combined parlay for both games.
I can't wait till this misses, bro.
I got McCaffrey over 90 total yards.
I can't wait till he's so gassed, and then this shit just goes down the drain.
You're going to be so upset when it hits.
PD the parlay jester.
I have Lamar scoring a touchdown, rushing. I have Pacheco with one big toe, scoring a touchdown. And in case that gets voided out because he doesn't play, I got the over on 45.5.
I like it. I do. I like it.
And I think that brings us. I don't know if did you guys choose who you have winning this game?
I have Detroit without a doubt.
I'm also taking Detroit.
Well,
Because I want to. It's not. This is a purely out of like passion. I just want to.
yeah,
I want to emphasize
Well, yeah, I
that.
want
I
Detroit.
hope you choose out of your own free will.
No, it's my. I'm saying, but this isn't like a analyst pick. This is a.
Oh, this is what you want.
This
in
is
your
a
heart.
passion pick.
No, I mean, I chose the people that I wanted to go to the Super Bowl just coincidentally, but my idealistic Super Bowl is Ravens Lions. For
Yeah.
sure.
You're a four. I thought you were rooting for the 49ers.
But like this is my thing.
You're
I really
confusing me, Cody.
No. I'm gonna tell you.
This is now 3
I'm gonna-
teams that
I'm
he'd
gonna
be
tell
happy
you,
with going to the
be
Super Bowl.
for real, PD. What did I say in the beginning of the season?
3
I said,
teams.
No. I want you to remember something. Who did I say was probably going to come out of the AFC? I said Miami or Baltimore. Yes or
did.
no?
You did.
I did. I've been talking about Baltimore this whole
you
time.
have.
Be for real. But what I want to say
I'm saying on the other side is the line. You've been talking
No,
about
I know,
49ers.
I know.
You also said
But
Ravens 49ers.
But this is my thing. In my lifetime, I've seen a Ravens 49ers Super Bowl when the Harbaugh brothers played each other with Colin Kaepernick. I saw that already. I've seen those teams line up against each other.
Yeah, but you didn't see Lamar
I didn't see Lamar, but I've seen those teams.
or your boy Brock.
I want to see the Lions just do something crazy, bro.
Me too.
I want to see them win it all.
Like, I think Brock has
No, I don't know about that.
I want to see them win it all.
No, I think
Who?
Detroit.
no.
That'd
I
be cool.
I want Lamar.
that.
I want Lamar to win this.
Yeah, me too.
More so than just for like football, because I think it'd be like I think Lamar winning this would change a whole lot of narrative that's on him.
Yeah.
That he needs to get that off it because you can't win with a quarterback in that type of system. All these type of things that they say about him. He goes there and wins the Super Bowl. Come
You
on,
can't
man.
say anything to him.
Well, speaking of struggling to win, this takes us into this week's boom and busts. Well, we're gonna start off with Cody, who struggles to win.
Yo, you just used my failures as your transition.
I know.
You're a troll. So I just want to say right now that we switched it up for the boom and bust this week. Instead of me having 3 of one and PD having 3 of the other, we decided since there's only 2 games that we would both pick a single boom and a single bust each. So I'm just gonna come out swinging, being as serious as possible. Mark Andrews was activated off the squad. And I think for some reason he's going to boom.
Of course you do.
No. And I'm going to tell you why. No one, look, because everybody thinks it's a comedy session around here when I make my picks. I'm going to tell you why. Nobody thought Laporta was going to come back. And the game he came back, he scored a touchdown.
Cody, let me ask you this while we're on the topic.
With a bionic leg on.
Where do you rank him in tight ends?
Who?
Mark Andrews. Where do you rank him in tight ends right now in the playoffs?
Well, you got Kelsey, Laporta, Kittle.
That's a good 4.
Those are the top 4 tight ends in the league, bro.
Yeah.
I think
That is kind of cool. I didn't.
Is
even
that
think
the
about
new
it like
secret? Tight ends win championships?
that. I mean, hey,
Well, the way they use
If
tight
any-
ends now, so
Of course. If the rest of them could stay healthy, you should know most about that yourself. Mr. Darren Waller, instead of getting back on the field, he's getting on the tracks. You've been hearing about
Who's your tight end?
Listen, man.
Who's the Jets tight end?
Conklin,
Conklin's
Ugh.
nice.
C.J. Uzama,
Ugh.
CJ Uzama's but
he's a bum.
Tyler
I know.
Conklin is nice.
Tyler
No,
Conklin is nice.
also a bum.
No, he's not.
No, Tyler Conklin is good.
Quarterback was a bum. He's not a bum.
Anyway, boom and bust.
He's better than
Where do you rank?
injured
All
Darren
right, so
Waller.
well, okay, but where do you rank Mark Andrews in that 4
At full health
right now?
right now. All right, let's say Laporta's injury status is the floor, right. So like he's also coming off an injury.
Well, no, you
So
saw
that
him
means
play
that-
last game.
No,
He's
but-
healthy.
No. But let's say if Mark Andrews were to come out and explode and do the same numbers that for some reason Laporta has done since he came back, I would put Mark Andrews at third. If
Like
Mark
that.
Andrews
Over Kittle?
over Kittle.
Okay.
But if you're talking about fully healthy, he's 2. He's number 2.
Okay, I like that.
He
Kelsey,
is.
Kelsey won.
Kelsey won.
Okay.
Right now, Kelsey won.
All right. I agree.
But if you're gonna give him a healthy scenario, do you also give Laporta a healthy scenario?
I saw him play last game, so yeah. I saw what he did coming off the injury already.
I'm not gonna give that faith to a rookie. I still got Mark Andrews number 2 if he's healthy.
All right. Well, my first boom. Spoke about him a lot already. Pat Mahomes. Playing against the Ravens, I think Pacheco slightly hurt with that toe injury.
Right.
A lot of toe problems over there.
Right.
I think he's going to have to do a little more. I think Rashee Rice is going to have to step up big time again. I think Kelsey's going to have to do a lot. And I think Pat Mahomes is going to have to do the most
Against the Ravens defense.
against the Ravens defense.
That's kind of hard.
To win the game, he's going to have to score against that defense.
I mean, I hear you.
So he averages 17.5. I think he's going over that.
Talking about someone who I don't think is going over that, I want to get into a little bust myself.
Mhm.
It's this one is pulling at my heartstrings. It's really hard for me to say, but I think it's a fact, and I don't think you disagree with me either.
Yeah.
At bust, I got Brock Purdy, man.
Yeah.
For some reason, even if the 49ers make it out of this alive, right? Because I think that's going to be a very fun game to watch. Both games are going to be fun to watch. Quite honestly, I think the Kansas City game is going to be more fun to watch. But if you're talking about both these teams, I think that we're not going to see that same Brock Purdy that we saw all season long this game. Something tells me that Dan Campbell has something in mind for him. And that's all I got to say about that. Averaging 18, I can see him having a 17.9.
I can see him
That's all I'm saying.
a 18.6.
I didn't tell the crowd about the 0.5. So yeah, let's
Yeah.
say that I think he's gonna have 18.4.
I think he's going to have 18.6. Speaking of the Lions and Dan Campbell, I saw what they did last week. I think they are very motivated to win a playoff game again. And we saw it last week. They ran the ball heavy with Montgomery.
Right.
They gave the ball to the veteran running back.
Right.
Remember, Gibbs is still the young guy over there. A lot of talent.
He is, but he's an amazing athlete though. That
Amazing.
guy is.
Amazing. But this is their biggest game of the season so far. So I think they give the ball to the veteran in that position.
I think another good argument for your buzz is also, 49ers rushing defense is very good.
Yeah, I was going to get to that. Don't worry.
Oh, I didn't know if you were pausing for dramatic effect. You kind of glanced over at me like, yo, and that's all I got to say about
No,
that.
I love to pause. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to play a big part in this game, but I think Montgomery plays a bigger one. Against the 49ers, it's going to be tough. Average is 16.1. I think he gets 16 exact.
Whatever. You guys are all just haters. But speaking of all you guys, proud to announce this is the initial first little glance at what is going to be the future of Cody's Corner. Wrapping up what we got on the football side, we're actually going to try and start a couple conversations about what's going on in the rest of the sports world, more so being basketball and baseball. So
We got a new segment here.
this is the new segment, man. Welcome to the new segment. One and only. What's it called, Petey?
Keeping score.
Woo! Hooray!
So, keeping score, we're going to be keeping score about what's going on around the league. And to start us off,
Multiple leagues.
multiple leagues. I think we have David starting us off with some NBA stuff.
All right, guys. Well, welcome to Keeping Score here at Cody's Corner. You know, making sure that everybody's up to date on what's going on. It's a lot of stuff going on in basketball. Doc Rivers just got named the new head coach for the Bucks. Unfortunately, though, he actually breached his contract with ESPN by taking the job. So there's a little bit of a standstill that's going on between ESPN and Doc Rivers right now with this whole, you know, can he take the job? Was he supposed to? What is the booth going to sound like now that he's gone? Because they just signed him to the contract. So it's a lot. It's tough.
You know, it's one of those things like, is Doc Rivers even worth all that trouble?
Honestly, in my opinion, he's not. Doc Rivers has one championship under his belt. He did it with an amazing team at the time.
Yo.
And, I mean, he doesn't have a very good record, like, when it comes to, like, wins. I think he's, you know what I mean? Like, 3-7 in, like, game sevens. Like, he's not.
Yeah. I mean, I agree, bro.
Do you think, I mean, how good the Bucks have been playing this season, do you think it was, like, right to fire the manager, the coach?
Honestly, I read something that I think it has to do with Thanasis, whatever Giannis's brother is.
Yeah.
And obviously, that's not the case. I'm joking, but supposedly he lost the locker room. So
yeah, once you lose the locker room, it's hard, man.
you know what I mean? But anyway, so that's the deal with the Bucks right now. You've also got Embiid scoring 70. Luka had 73. Big Cat, Karl Anthony Towns, for those who don't know,
Right.
63, and Devin Booker with 62.
You didn't have to look right at me when you said for those who don't know. I know who Karl Anthony Towns is.
No,
Trying to point out the little,
no, I was just saying, just in case.
Doesn't belong here.
But clearly, what this shows is like this influx in scoring from these guys. It just shows that, like, I don't know, the NBA is crazy. Like, every other game is a blowout. These teams are winning by 30 points like almost every night. It's insane.
Well, do you think that has to do with about a lot of better offensive players, or does it have to do with a lack of defense in the NBA right now?
I think it's a combination of both, honestly. Obviously, I think players are a lot better offensively than they were, right? A lot more skilled set. Like, I mean, you got Victor Wembanyama, who's 7'6".
Yeah.
And hitting people with sham gods coming across the court. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the talent is definitely there, but the league is also built now in a way that defense is not a focal point. You can't touch anybody. You can't, like, you can't, like, hand guard and stuff like that. So, hand check, I'm sorry, is what it's called. So, it's a combination of both, but sometimes it's fun to watch, and then sometimes it's like, damn, really? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, wow. But, I mean, it is what it is.
So, speaking of things that are fun to watch, talking about NBA, you got OKC in first place in the Western Conference.
Yeah, they're doing it.
That is a team that, now that I'm a little checked in, that's a fun team to watch.
That is a
bro.
very fun team to watch.
SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, is a hooper, bro.
He's a hooper. All-star starter.
It's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, he deserves it,
I think so. With that being said, for anybody who doesn't know, the NBA All-Star Weekend's happening in about 2 weeks. So it's right around the corner in Indiana. And for those who haven't been following too much, we got the lineups right here. So the Eastern Conference starters, we got Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum, Tyrese Halliburton, and Damian Lillard.
Okay.
I don't agree with the Damian Lillard, but whatever.
Brunson was snubbed.
Yes, 100%. I've been watching the Knicks, and I
Speak
do
for
believe
the Knicks fans.
The media hates the Knicks.
I think Knicks fans just don't have time to vote.
Too busy in New York.
They're too busy trying to make it home.
They got plenty of time. They got plenty of time in Milwaukee. Like, do I really want to vote for Brunson when it's bumper to bumper traffic. Like,
Yeah.
In Milwaukee, they drive
They're
5
just making
minutes to
cheese
get
on
where they
their
have to
way
be.
home, and
and-
I'm like, I wonder if Dame got a vote today.
I guess I got time for him.
I have 3 hours to spare.
I got
Yeah.
some cheese curds left.
Whatever. But and then we got the Western Conference starters, LeBron James, which is his 20th selection, by the way, which is an NBA record.
Shout out LeBron.
The dude doesn't age. I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, not for nothing. I mean, look, we're talking about the All-Stars, but is it me? Look, you're a Laker fan. I'm a Laker fan also. I would love to ask you, doesn't he look a little slower
Of course.
I hope so.
Of course.
this year?
His head is still above the rim when he dunks, though.
Yeah.
So, and I can tell you right now, I play basketball every week. I can't jump over a piece of paper anymore. So,
A piece of paper is crazy.
so I'm just saying. But anyways, so to continue on with the starters, it's Kevin Durant, whatever. Nikola Jokic, obvious. Luka Doncic, obvious, and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, which is also obvious to me.
Shy Glizzy.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
I mean, like you said, man. Other than Dame, I think we were talking about this off the mic. Isn't Dame having one of his worst career seasons up to date?
statistically, yeah. I mean, I honestly don't. I know the fans vote in for All-Star, so I honestly don't. That's why I just say that people in Milwaukee just must be, because you can vote as many times as you want.
Right.
Too.
It's not like one per.
Jalen Brunson has better numbers. I feel like he's doing more for the team. If you take Jalen Brunson off of the Knicks,
The Knicks are trash.
and if you take Damian Lillard off of the Bucks are still a top seed in the East.
I mean, they were.
They were doing it last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, but again, sometimes it's a popularity contest, and
Ooh.
you know, it is what it is.
Shots fired on the first keeping score.
Dame
Dame Lillard doesn't deserve what's coming to him.
So I guess we'll find out
That
about
was
this
the
more in the
girliest
future.
gun. I didn't. That. You know, have you ever seen that trend? It's like, what does a gun sound like in your head? And some people go, boo, boo, boo. Some people are like, fa, fa. David went, pew, 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 pew.
That's very Star Wars.
Yeah, word. It was very. He was there when they directed the movie, right?
Huh?
David was there when
He was
they
there.
directed-
He was there. At
Yeah,
the
me and
release.
George Lucas wrote it together.
They're best pals.
Oh man, that is funny, bro.
Do you, speaking of Jalen Brunson, how well the Knicks are doing this season, David, do you think getting OG was the last move the Knicks make this season?
Well, let me tell you something right now. OG's over there. They're like 10-2, I believe.
He's doing the thing over there.
Yeah, he's they have like the PER, like the percentages and stuff like that. Like it's like plus 38. Like
Oh my god.
he's doing his thing. Like he's exactly what the Knicks needed. Now, do I think? By the way, I'm not a Knicks fan. I prefaced this earlier. I am a Laker fan. However, I do
Right.
watch a lot of ball,
Eh.
and the Knicks are local, so I support. Right.
Right.
Yeah, I think
Maybe a little Donovan Mitchell action on that team.
no.
You don't think so?
No. Donovan Mitchell to me, and this call it a hot take, lukewarm take, whatever you want to call it. Donovan Mitchell is not like he's a good player. Like I'm not gonna say he's not, but he doesn't make anybody around him better. It doesn't seem like when I watch him.
I think it's a hot take to say the phrase lukewarm take. I've never heard that before in life.
How about-
you know, it's not.
How about Embiid? I think he's getting tired over there in Philly.
Look at you trying to stir the pot day one.
I think Embiid could
He's here
fit
with
nicely.
the
Listen,
He's here with the cauldron in
I
front
think
of him.
he'd fit nicely on this Knicks team.
Let me tell you something. The 76ers will never get rid of Joel Embiid. They're going to do everything in their absolute power to keep him. So, I mean, would he fit the Knicks? Sure. The Knicks are a defensive-minded team and stuff like that, but the 76ers have a good thing going. Tyrese Maxey is budding. Like,
Yeah.
he's a rising star, right? The only thing that I probably would try to move for the 76ers is maybe Tobias Harris. Even though he's playing well under Nick Nurse, because they got him more involved in the offense and stuff like that, I still think that maybe that's like their weak point. They need maybe like one more guy, but it's also hard to say that too because Joel Embiid just scored 70 really easily. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how tired he is.
Yeah, so if you have someone dropping 70, now might not be the time to start moving some pieces.
Exactly.
Well, I just hope the Knicks make another move.
Yep.
Well, moving on from basketball,
Yeah.
We got some baseball stuff going on in
Let's
the
go.
MLB.
Let's go.
Even though there's no baseball being played, we still have some big stuff going on, right?
That's right.
The Hall of Fame just had their new inductees. We have 3 this year. So we've gone some years with 0. We have
They do
Todd.
that?
Yeah, sometimes nobody gets inducted.
100%.
Just happens. Especially in baseball, they're a little stingy. But
Very fickle.
Todd Helton, known for playing on the Rockies, makes it in. There was a lot of skeptical people saying he might not make it in. Cody, I don't know if you've heard of the whole Coors Field effect in Colorado.
I have not.
Their high elevation in Colorado makes the ball go a lot farther.
Further.
So it makes it a very hitter-friendly park, you know? When you play in Colorado, you hit better, you can hit more home runs. It's just not good for pitchers, I'll tell you that.
Right.
But Helton wasn't a pitcher. He was able to hit there and do it very well.
He was a dinger.
He was a dinger. So this
He was a little bit.
He's been waiting to use that word.
I never used that
All
word
For
in my
weeks.
life. I never used
for
that-
weeks.
I never used that word in my life.
So because of that, a lot of people were like, does he deserve to be in the Hall of Fame if he was hitting in this ballpark where you get hit a lot easier and put up these numbers? But he did it. He makes it into the Hall. I think that's going to help a lot of other players that played for Colorado make it into the Hall of Fame. So congrats to him.
Congrats.
Number 2, Adrian Beltre, a legend in himself.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of different from everyone else that's made the Hall of Fame because he started out his career a little slow, picked it up towards the end. You know, you see a lot of players have a great first couple years, then they slow down as they get older. He was the opposite. Slow when he was young, as he got old, perfected his game, won multiple Gold Gloves,
What position was this man?
third baseman, one of the
Like-
best to ever do it.
Like wine, baby.
Like he aged like a fine wine. Don't have his numbers up. Won Gold Glove at least 3 times.
Sheesh.
MVP
Nice.
candidate. He was great. You would watch this guy play and you'd kind of model yourself after him. So very glad he made it in. Then final, we have Joe Mauer.
All
One,
right.
one of the
Joe Mauer.
one of the best catchers to play the game. This guy came up instantly just hitting. He can hit. He's a hitting machine. Defensively, also one of the best. Unfortunately, years into his career, had a couple of injury problems, kind of slowed himself down in the back end. So there was the argument. Was his first half of his career good enough to get him in the Hall of Fame? This is his first year on. People were like, we don't know if he's going to make it, especially first ballot, and he makes it in. So congrats to him. Very well deserved.
Now, PD, I have a question. Are all 3 of these guys first ballot or?
Beltre's first ballot. Todd Helton's not. I think he's been on it for a little bit now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good to see him on then.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Congrats to the inductees.
Congrats to them. They're going to be in Cooperstown. Next up, we have Vegas. Not too happy about Oakland Athletics being moved there. They
Does it sound like Vegas is getting a little bougie, a little ahead of themselves?
they're getting a lot of teams now. They're like, how about we deserve our own team? We don't want scraps. We don't want sloppy seconds.
Yeah, meanwhile, they're just turning into like the super hub of sports and everything over there right
But
now.
the Raiders, that was a sloppy second, if you
was.
can call it. They took
from
that
Oakland.
They took that gladly.
From Oakland.
Right.
I don't think they just want more of that. And maybe they're like, that's it. We want our own kind of thing after that. But Oakland, the Athletics, a very historical team. Fans in Oakland not happy. Ownership kind of terrible.
Yeah.
You had an owner that purposely just wasn't spending money on his team, put out the worst possible team he could.
Purposely wasn't.
Yeah. He was putting out the worst team he could. So that way he was like, oh, look, my team's really bad. We should move because we're not selling tickets.
Moneyball was based on.
Oakland, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. That's when they
Still haven't
had
seen it.
great movie.
great
You should
movie.
definitely watch it.
You should.
So, did all those things to make the team look like, oh, the fans don't want to come watch because they don't want to come to Oakland anymore. It was just because he wasn't putting a good product on the field, So now they're moving to Vegas. Vegas fans want their own team. So the argument's being made, do they rebrand completely? So do they change their name?
I would.
I think they should. I really do. But I think it's going to be very upsetting from athletics fans in general. This is a historic team.
It is.
Ricky Henderson days.
Look, as someone who has the least interest in the room probably about baseball, right? To me, The name athletics makes me feel like I'm about to go into a generic store that's going to give me sportswear.
I think it's a little outdated.
It's a little bit of an outdated name.
Back in David's time.
Petey, you gotta chill.
Oh man, that was back when they used to wear leg warmers on the basketball games. I don't know.
Did you see that picture of like one of the first ever basketball games, and the ref was wearing like a Peaky Blinders outfit?
Yes.
Like Tyrese Halliburton?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, like Tyrese Halliburton, like how David used to pull up to the club.
Yeah, exactly like that. They used to be like, "Yo, David, what time is it?" He's like, "Let me get my pocket
You'd
watch
pull
out."
it out on a chain, and you'd hear it tick.
I'm surprised you didn't say a sundial.
And they would ask him what time it was. He would just look down at his shadow on the ground. Well, it's probably around noon.
Yo, that's...
Good morrow to you, sir.
Okay.
All right.
You brought yourself into that one. You said sundial.
Yeah, I know. I walked right into that one.
Well, speaking of sunny times, we know the baseball season is a long one in the summer. All right. We have a player, Anthony Rendon, on the Los Angeles Angels. He says the MLB season's too long. He said there's too much baseball to be played. Now, this is also a guy that got offered a bag
Right.
and has not been living up to his contract. So a lot of fans were like, you shouldn't be complaining because you don't even stay healthy for the whole season.
Oh damn.
And you're not being good on this team.
Well, maybe he knows that. I mean, I don't know anything about the topic or at all. But if it was me just listening to that right now, he got a bag and he's not living up to it because of injuries. So if the season is shorter,
Yeah, he's
playing more of the season.
Yeah, but he's complaining about playing 162 games. He hasn't even made it through like 100 of them.
Is there from 1 to 10? What is the speculation that they would ever shorten an MLB
Besides
season?
COVID,
Besides COVID,
I don't think they would.
They already
I think-
they already tried. Peter, you can probably attest to this.
Yeah.
Know a little bit more than I do, but haven't they changed the rules a bit in baseball to make the game faster?
Yeah, the games go by faster. There's new
Pitch
extra
count.
pitch, not pitch count, pitch timer, pitch clock.
Pitch clock.
So you have to pitch quicker. You have to, in extra innings, you have a runner starting on second now, so the game's finished quicker.
Wow. Okay.
So they are trying to make it appeal more to casual fans, you know? But I think it's too tough to shorten the season. I think it wouldn't be a problem if you shorten it down like 20 games to like 140. But I think it's going to be tough because you're paying players this money, their contracts, right?
Right.
This guy's making, let's say, for example, $40 million a year,
baseball money's crazy.
right?
OD, bro.
Let's say, for example, somebody's making $40 million a year that's broken up into the 162 games. Now, if you're shortening the season to 140, that player's going to be losing money now, right? So I think that's a big obstacle you'd have to jump over, and I don't think it's possible.
Well,
I feel like baseball is a very it's what the American. Well, you know, it's a very
American pastime.
Right. It's a very
is
traditional.
it still America's pastime?
I think it's still America's pastime.
Is it though? All right, I want to ask you guys this to wrap up. You know, just all of us talking about the sports that we love, because that's what this really is. You know, it's slowly transitioned from football. Now it's something that we all have a near and dear treasure for. If you were a casual fan, you know, obviously all of us are into our specific sport and then some. If you were just a casual person that didn't follow sports that heavily, which sport do you think would be the easiest to get into right now?
Football?
Football.
You only have to watch one game a week.
Yeah. You pick a team, watch one game.
If they win, yeah. If not, okay, wait till next week.
Yeah.
I
That
was
is the
gonna
easiest
say-
sport.
I was going to say basketball, actually.
Basketball, there's a lot depending on me being a Laker fan, I can't. My games come on at 10 o'clock
Right.
a lot of
That's
times.
not casual.
You know what I mean? So for me to watch the game, I'm up till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I do it because I'm not a casual fan. I'm a diehard.
Right.
But it is what it is, though. So I think football would be the easiest one. It's only one day or 3 days. We'll say Monday, you know, but they come on at reasonable times.
Right.
And, you know.
Well, casual, you know, it's not casual to pick a team that's across the country. When I'm saying casual, I mean, like, you know, you could turn on.
I still think football.
I still think football, yeah.
It's
I
it's
get
a
it.
lot
I get
easier.
it.
I think baseball and like the MLB and NBA is its own conversation of which one's easier to get into.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball, you have a game every day,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
realistically. So
Basketball,
some,
too.
Some Yeah, but I'm saying team wise.
Ah, okay.
Like your teams,
Play,
let's say
yeah.
they're 7 days a
Yeah.
week. They're probably playing 4 to 5
Yeah.
of those
true.
days. So you can argue, is that harder or easier? Because you have more chances to watch them, but there are gonna be more games you miss.
Yeah.
And football is more of like an event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Like
like
an appointment.
right, like it's like you know, like you don't see people because there's so many games. You don't see people going out for every Yankee game.
Right.
You know what I mean? But every time the Jets play, you can catch us at the bar.
Right.
So
It's true. And you're not so pressed about missing a game if there's so many games. You know, like if you miss a Yankee game, you might be like, oh well, I'll see the next one tomorrow.
Yeah. You just look at the box score,
Yeah.
highlights.
I do enjoy going to a baseball game though.
Oh yeah.
I think I actually like going to a baseball game more so than I like going to a football game. And I love football.
Oof. You know, that's oof.
Could it be my age? I just like the, you know.
You like to
I mean, David.
I like the chill.
David
I like
was
the-
there
Need
when
some peanuts.
I was
and,
there when, Petey? When
you
when
were-
was I there?
you were there back to watch Babe Ruth hit his first couple home runs, right?
On that note,
Look, man, I'm really glad, and I hope that you guys enjoyed keeping score, because keeping score looks like it's gonna be here to stay.
Yeah, something that's gonna grow.
Something that we're gonna get used to as we all grow together.
100%.
And I think that this is the beginning of something really interesting. So, on that note, it's a longer episode. I know you guys might not be used to it yet.
Get used to it.
or else. On that note, thanks for listening, and as always, I'll see ya.
Oh, well.